And here we go. RHYS, DRMZJOSEPH. This is game number 1 of Day 2 America's Cup. Pre-bans coming out right here.
Let's go, Stoic. We see already the respect given for the miles. What does that tell you? That tells you that Joseph's going to bring the heavy hitter fire units. He doesn't want to go against that strong water unit on the other side, Sagar, that has been super strong for everyone. Let's see if the Masha comes out like we predicted. And yes, she is over here. Now that Miles is off the table, what would you like to see RHYS bring up to the match?
I mean, there could be a lot of things. I think we could still see, I was going to say more and a Chumpung as well. The combination, very prevalent when it comes to RHYS's draft here. And I do like the Ethna. If he locks it in, and he does lock that in, he definitely wants that turn 1 playstyle. And we'll see if DRMZJOSEPH's going to opt towards maybe just backing it up and going with a turn 2 playstyle here, or try to contest as well.
Yeah, very good point, my friend. And I love the shift kind of, Chumpung's still strong, but I like the shift to an Etna because the Etna gives him more killing potential, you know, and kind of trying to drop the Masha very quickly because of the damage, etc. But DRMZJOSEPH already with a double Valkyrie. Look at that surprise. We talked about Camilla yesterday, and she appears today. Can you tell everyone why Camilla is so interesting right now compared to the past?
Oh, it's just a bruiser that just won't be removed from the field right now. But it's got an incredible second skill, being able to freeze, and it's got the slow on it as well. It's very, very powerful. Now, these bruisers are going to be ruined up pretty well, so we're going to see some big numbers usually come from this Camilla. And we're going to see a little bit of sustain coming from RHYS here, dropping in the Praha. We've got the Rakuni coming in here. DRMZJOSEPH showing even more bruisers. I thought the Vanessa was going to be a little bit of a speed contest here, where he's throwing down the 33 speed lead, but that is not the route that DRMZJOSEPH's trying to scare him into, that he has that leader skill in there. But it looks like we're going towards a Wind Monkey King and a Diana potentially locked in for DRMZJOSEPH.
Oh, I really like the pick of the Diana over here, to be completely honest. Let's see if RHYS brings something that threatens those two very tanky and strong wind units. The Monkey also counters more very well, and also makes the Etna think twice when using that AoE second skill to not be revenged. So it's going to be interesting to see what his last pick is. And like you said, I love bringing the double sustain. Maybe that last pick threatens too much damage, and DRMZJOSEPH will get rid of it, or he's more afraid of the Etna with the Death Break. What would you like to see? Oh, it is quick, too quick for us too. So it was banned. And the Diana also off the table, Stoic. Let's see who takes turn 1.
Yeah, definitely gone there. 33 speed lead coming out for DRMZJOSEPH. How fast is this Masha? I'm actually expecting this Masha to be pretty tanky. We'll see how it works out for him, but the Etna clearly taking turn 1 for RHYS.
Yeah, very, very fast Etna. Goes for the single target, doesn't want to risk the IOE. I love that. Very, methodical, diligent to get that move. The Rakuni doesn't even need to boost anyone to keep his team protected. And now gets 1 stun with a more. Very, very key, especially on the wind unit that could have countered him. And now with a sleep, makes sure that he controls the match a little bit. What would be the first unit that you'd be targeting on DRMZJOSEPH's side?
On DRMZJOSEPH's team, I think he really wants to aim for a dismount on top of that Masha, and then not necessarily take out the Vanessa just yet, but I think that dismount's way too important. But you're going to see a little bit of playing around here. I think he's keep some units back. He's clearly trying to keep that Wind Monkey King nice and low. Oh! Holy damage coming out of that Masha. Just did away with that Ethna so quickly.
You talked about the Masha being a key unit. The Etna received what we like to call the post-ban. And the Camilla will start doing work, trying to get a freeze in here. The Rakuni gets the cleanse, but only 2 debuffs. So he has to use the skill to clean up that very dangerous Death Break. I love the gameplay, but so far it's looking like he'll need a lot more damage to take this team of DRMZJOSEPH down. What would you try to remove from the field now that the Etna's off with the 2 monsters, 2 very dangerous water units on RHYS side?
Well, so for RHYS right now, he's trying to keep that Rakuni healthy, and as you can tell, DRMZJOSEPH's trying to get that Rakuni low enough right now so everybody else stays stunned. So RHYS really needs to focus on probably pumping up that Rakuni as much as possible and making sure his team stays up as high as possible. I think what RHYS is going to be trying to do is lower all the HP bars across all of DRMZJOSEPH's units, minus the Camilla. That's going to be the tough one here. And he's going to be really heavily reliant on Water Ryu more second skill to try to just do a big cleave moment for him.
Very good point. I love that strategy of trying to keep them all low. Joseph doesn't have as much healing as RHYS has, but the bigger problem right here is, like you said, how does he get rid of this Camilla? Camilla is so strong in this matchup because now that the wind unit is removed, his only option is kind of, you know, getting that additional damage with both the Praha and the Moor. The question right now, can this Masha crit in any of these units? We know high resist on the Raccoon and then 2 water units.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he should actually go for a skill 2 here, just to get a little bit more AoE damage, unless he wants to keep pumping in that first skill. But I think the idea of keeping these units low as possible is probably what needs to happen right now. Clearly, he's trying to work down that Wind Monkey King. You don't want to obviously get the Vanessa passive, and then it's going to come back attack buff, where he might be in a lot of trouble. But you can definitely tell, RHYS is trying to keep all of these units as low as possible to hit him with a big second skill with that Moor.
Yeah, I agree, Stoic, and I love the strategy on both sides. RHYS is playing it very well, even though he already lost a unit, gets rid of the Vanessa, so no revive for DRMZJOSEPH, and keeping the 2 damage dealers, the main ones, low. Now, big chance, but doesn't get the death break. Procs, and Rakuni stays alive with a sliver of HP.
That was very, very unfortunate for DRMZJOSEPH. If he had landed that defense break, I think the Raccoon would have been gone long ago, knocked in the next week completely. But RHYS is definitely staying alive right now. He needs this Raccoon to just hold up as much as possible. That is going to be the key to RHYS's draft, is this Raccoon staying alive.
Raccoon has been the MVP, keeping itself alive, cleansing the Prow whenever she was in danger, and now the monkey, wish he was a fire monkey to get that heal off of the second skill because 2 water units just killed him. There's an opening! And Camilla takes down the prize, a 2v2 Stoic.
Yep, here we go. He needs to land that defense break. Nails it! Oh my god! The damage is so crazy coming out of that Masha there. But we do have the dismount, so things are still not over because we have that passive with RHYS's Moor here, and Moor really needs to get stay on top of the despair stuns, and we need man, it's not going to be too much you can do about that right there. DRMZJOSEPH taking round 1 from RHYS.
Beautiful match on both sides. Great pick and ban. The post ban of the Etna, but I think that the MVP right here, we got to call it, is this Masha removing 2 units, even a Raccoon, without any death break coming in.
Yep, I think Masha's probably going to be on that pre-ban list right here. There's almost no way they let that unit through because that was just way too good for DRMZJOSEPH. I'd even opt to just seeing a whole nother draft coming out of DRMZJOSEPH, making sure that Masha's not going to be a part of it there. We'll see what happens, because there might be a plan that RHYS already has set in store for DRMZJOSEPH here.
Very good point, Stoic. What I love about DRMZJOSEPH is that he's the kind of player that is very adaptable, kind of similar to Raigeki. So we saw a couple units that are not very used, you know, in RTA right now, like the Wind Monkey and the Camilla, but both of them fit the bill. They made sense in this match, so I would love to see for RHYS to be prepared, pre-ban the Masha, and kind of change it up a little bit. Yeah, that's what we see. Love it. And the Kinky goes away. Interesting. I did not know he had that unit and could have played a little bit more bruisery. What do you think about Kinky right now in this meta?
So, I love Kinky right now. It's something that I'm heavily playing myself, but I think the Kinky ban in this case is DRMZJOSEPH's going to probably opt to do something more in the AoE style. Like, I feel like that's the only reason why he would probably get rid of a unit like this, so that it's not going to revenge based off of something he's trying to do to all of RHYS's units. So that might be why he's pre-banning it right now, but the Vanessa and Ethna don't necessarily say that, minus Ethna's second skill with Shatta. But RHYS opting for turn 1, double speed leads. We're seeing the Oliver, we're seeing the Moor at the table. I'm expecting to see a Chung Pung as well.
Oh, I love your comment. The Etna right here is a very interesting unit to bring. And the question is, will he also bring Cigar? We know that was pre-banned on the first match. And kind of thinking about those powerful win units, RHYS already drafts the Mei Ho Wang. Interestingly enough, I feel like that's a little bit early, but is a solid choice into the draft. What we've seen now, DRMZJOSEPH responds right away with 2 units that don't care about that monkey that much. Oh, brings the Raccoon. Oh, kind of indecisive. Is he thinking to lock it down? Okay, sweet. It is locked down.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that he decided to lock in. I actually really liked the Raccoon draft before because I feel like RHYS's draft didn't have like big threat. The big threat obviously being like a Fire Monkey King if Raccoon was going to be on the other side of the field. But he ended up opting to go with Jackson at home. This is an okay unit. I'm not a big fan. I feel like it needs to do a little bit more, but obviously stopping the attack bar pushback that RHYS is clearly bringing to the table here with 3 units that he has. Raccoon Miles, great combinations. I like RHYS's draft. It's a draft that a lot of people see here. DRMZJOSEPH. That is a very obvious Leo pick there to just drop in.
Yeah, and a very obvious Leo ban as well. So great bans on both sides. I don't know. I feel that the Miles ban would have been fine as well because now contesting for that turn 1 will be very difficult. Let's see who takes this, and it is the Miles. Miles has a chance to try to stun, but doesn't get the stun on the Etna. Now, the way back, the Etna tries to stun and gets the stun, but the Raccoon cleanses this Oliver.
Yeah, very, very nice Raccoon right behind there. Primed and ready to get it back up. Raccoon's always pumping more of attack bar right into those Miles, and Miles is going to be looking to probably deal even more damage to this Ethna. I think Ethna is going to be the prime focus that RHYS is going to try and get rid of here, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage on the Etna. The Etna is almost dead, but right now, the Lucia, if I'm not mistaken, comes up, puts up some shields, protection, and the opening for Vanessa to try to put a death break, misses it. Has to go for that Miles that has been a big problem, and now Oliver can steal the attack bar away, increase cool time on the Etna, and the question right now is how do you get out of this control and damage from both surfers?
I mean, that's exactly what it is. We talked about this earlier before even any of the matches begun. It's like, how do you stop the Oliver when you don't have any immunity on your side of the field? Oliver's able to do a lot of things here when Oliver's not even the main focus right now for DRMZJOSEPH. So DRMZJOSEPH already, in my opinion, is kind of at a disadvantage because he has to deal with the Raccoon, a Miles Oliver style draft.
I agree with you. It's a lot of damage coming from the double surfers, and you brought it up. Maybe that Raccoon pick would have been better than the Lucia on DRMZJOSEPH's side because you not only have more sustain, but you also take that unit away that has a great combo with the Miles.
I think it's definitely a great little showcase here when we have the Fire Jackson at home, that unit. It's like, I think it does hold a little bit of value to it, but it's, in my opinion, it's just not enough. I know it's supposed to halt that attack bar pushback just a little bit, but it's not really showing too much. It's like Oliver, Miles are still having their way with their opponents here, and it's just not offering enough defensive or support for DRMZJOSEPH's team.
Yeah, DRMZJOSEPH team also lacking a little bit of damage. The Camilla gets stronger and stronger right here, but against monsters like the Oliver that can control the attack bar and Miles that doesn't care about your HP. It's just a monster that hits super hard, and the later the games get, the more dangerous it is.
Yeah, Miles does not care about your HP, does not care about your feelings either. That is a very cruel unit with how tanky it is and how much damage it produces on this field. So it's going to be super, super dangerous here for DRMZJOSEPH. I think the only opportunities that we're seeing right now is a potential, like, defense break with Camilla able to produce a lot of damage at the time, but once again you're in this limbo, and this limbo is really, really tough to deal with Raccoon because as soon as you get something low, Raccoon's healing it up, and then you're working on something else, and you're trying to two things low. But the issue that we're having right now with DRMZJOSEPH is he has 2 single target damage dealers, well, units that are bruisers that are meant to try and deal a little bit of damage for him.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Stoic. The Raccoon is so strong into this comp because he keeps everyone healed, keeps everyone alive. Maybe if the Raccoon wasn't there, the Camilla and the Vanessa could be doing some, big damage by now, and then you get everyone a little bit lower. But this is a big resist on the Camilla. Might be a solid opening. If he crits, gets the crit, and right now we'll put some protection up. No, doesn't go for the shield.
Yeah, he's going for that first skill. That first skill does heal the lowest HP target here. It's still handy because it kind of like that first skill feels like just like a little bit like a Raccoon. Well, not like a Raccoon. Raccoon has the passive that heals in return. But nice little Despair Stuns popping out here. I just don't see what DRMZJOSEPH can do, except we watch the HP go down and the attack power go up, where we might see Camilla really start to hammer away. But at the same time, we're really going to start seeing units on RHYS's side start hammering away at DRMZJOSEPH. So it's going to be once again this like really weird limbo with Raccoon keeping everybody so healthy, and this match is probably still going to progress like on and on. But DRMZJOSEPH definitely trying to find an opportunity to land a defense break and capitalize on it.
Yeah, this Camilla has not been able to hit anything on the Miles. I don't know if the Miles 100% res or the Camilla has low accuracy, because if they manage to remove this Vanessa from the field, the match might be over. He needs the Vanessa to survive a little bit longer so she can bring the unit back. But then again, there's Oliver constantly resetting cooldowns, taking attack bars away, even with the Princess of Lucia, and the Vanessa goes down. It's gonna be Camilla against the world.
I love a Camilla against the world. I think this is one of those units that can do it. I just don't think we have the correct situation for Camilla. You can just see how much time is passing. Like, Camilla's starting to get really, really slammed here. I love it. I really do. I love a Camilla, but I just don't think this is the place for her.
Yeah, the Miles and Raccoony, two punishing, the Oliver taking attack bars away, and with that, RHYS taking Game 2. This is the last couple of hits. Let's see. One more. Can the Raccoony finish the job? Gives it to Miles. Whoa.
Yeah.
1-1. Everything's equal, Stoic.
Yeah, definitely. I think RHYS has done his homework here on DRMZJOSEPH. Like I said, I originally really liked the draft coming out of RHYS here, and it's just that Oliver, Miles, Raccoony, that combination of those three units are so good. There's just so much you have to worry about. So if you bring high aggression, like if we had maybe that Masha on the field, we could be singing a different song right now. But DRMZJOSEPH didn't have that Masha. I think Masha's definitely coming back into the next draft here, and I think RHYS has to worry about it. Either does he plan on already banning out Masha, or does he potentially even just take the Masha away if he can?
Very good point. They go back to the first pre-bans. I really like them. Very solid. Even though DRMZJOSEPH didn't bring up the Sagar on that match, is still a super strong unit, and the Miles not going to be seen. I love that. I would like to see as well, if Joseph has the opportunity to take the Raccoony away right now, he should. Even though we've only seen one win, unit is a really strong unit in this matchup. It brings, you know, the cleanse, the sustain, steals the Oliver away. Also really like that, and opts for the Juno instead of the Raccoony. What do you think about that?
I think the Juno is definitely fine. I think RHYS is going down a AoE route here, so I think Juno definitely works just a little bit better. But if DRMZJOSEPH had locked in a Raccoony instead of a Juno, I think RHYS just continues down an AoE route, and he doesn't really have to worry about the Raccoony anymore, because when you're in that limbo with Raccoony, you're not too worried about it, because you're bringing lots of AoE to help you know, do that job for you. So it would kind of set up RHYS for, you know, a little bit more succession here.
Very good point. I really like the Chiwu into the Masha. Has that glancing turn 1. We saw that the Masha doesn't have any protection, and also it's a secondary speed lead that can put the beneficial block on her, so she doesn't get the passive benefit of getting immunity constantly. Now, immediate response with a Leo. We know he doesn't want to let that get through, and the Mei Ho Wang as the last pick can't be stunned. Mei Ho Wang and Juno, great partners in crime that were going against each other. Oh, swaps to a turn 1 when Robo. Interesting. It says if you ban my Leo, I get 33% plus the Robo. So you got to choose. What would you like to ban in here on his side?
I mean, Leo's definitely going to get banned out here. It's interesting that RHYS is going to be relying on a Douglas. I mean, I think the Douglas is a great unit, but the writing's on the wall. Masha's definitely not going through in this match right here. I do think if, like, depending on that draft, I really like the Chiwu. I think Chiwu is a great response to the Masha, able to apply the glancing, use that second skill to stop Masha from getting immunity back up. So I think Chiwu was absolute genius looking here. Douglas, I think, is quite interesting. I don't know if that would be it, but that definitely says that Win Robo's going through.
Yeah, I think that the Douglas will get banned, to be honest. I think it's a double back on the Leo. It's like trying to trick Joseph into it. Let's see if it's really a serious pick or kind of forcing the ban like we saw yesterday a couple of times. I would not let it through, because if the Masha gets banned, yeah, that's it. That's what you do. It's a double, it's a trick. You still want to ban the Leo, but you put the Douglas so you get your full team. The question right now is the Win Robo faster than everyone else with the 33% speed lead, and can he reduce enough without the cut in? Yes, my friend, it is, but misses.
Ooh. Yeah, he misses it. I think he really needed to see that right there, but we're going to see a third skill go back on either this Chiwu or the Shan, and that's not... I mean, it goes on to the Shan and nails it, but the third skill comes out. Despair, Chung Pong, might I add as well. Glancing needs to land on top of this Masha to keep it back, because if that glancing does land, that 2 turn is going to sit there for quite a while.
Can you believe that this Chung got full reduction on the Masha too? So far, very, very important monster. Can he try to remove a unit right now, even with the glancing and the attack break? Lands the death break, but doesn't get as much damage as he hoped. We know that this Sean will get his second skill back next turn, so he needs to kill him as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I really want to see that skill 2 go out towards that Masha. I think Masha needs to be a little bit of focus here. And interesting for him not to bother doing that here. I guess he has that second skill primed and ready, but a little bit of sustain is going to come out from that Juno, of course. I think DRMZJOSEPH was in a position to you have to use that second skill to cross his fingers for some despair stuns, and that's not what happened there. But it looks like he's really trying to get rid of Sean. I think this is a fair decision to remove this unit from the field here. Let's see what happens. I do think Masha needs a little bit of attention here. This unit is built on Violent.
I agree with you. I think that the Masha not getting dropped, not using that skill 2 might cost him very much in this match, because this stun with Juno basically guarantees that Sean is dead. And from this point on, you have 2 fire units that can control this match. The Masha and the Juno are really strong into this. He has the choice of trying to sleep, but doesn't get the sleep on the Oliver. It's kind of like the clock is ticking for RHYS, because right now he can kill the Sean, then keep putting damage on the Chung Pung. Yep, so he's gonna get 2 units down very quickly.
Yep, well, he needs to get a dismount onto this Masha as soon as possible, because I do think RHYS is going to be missing another unit once this Masha gets second skill off. Chung Pung's not long for life here.
Yeah, I think Chung Pung is long gone. There's also a unit that can counter the Douglas, and the Chiwu doesn't do a lot here late. I love this draft from Joseph. Even though the Robo didn't work as well, he still had enough sustain and 2 very strong fire units to deal with RHYS, taking the second match for himself.